We are back again to do Libra for general outcome. I will be pulling cards for singles and couples. Directly after, I will be recording the twin flame. And if you are wanting to make a booking, you can go to the link below. Now, if you don't know, I'm a psychic medium. Yes, I am a twin flame. I've been on the path for 18 years. I'll take those. Also, if you want to join the live sessions, I do live updates as well when I'm tuning into the collective energy separately to those. And I do answer questions during the session. You guys know what you want to do. You also have very, very strong intuition this morning. I think some of you guys have intuitively been tuning into things. I also feel as though the way you are handling situations is potentially, with trigger points, you're realising detachment's the key. Some domains you can't sort. Some domains do feel extremely out of balance, but it sort of feels out of your control. So the best advice is to, well, I can't say go with the flow because a lot of things that are happening and are moving quite quickly. Now, I am picking that for a lot of the collective, we are jumping timelines. So with your life, all of us collectively are changing. We're all changing the way we're doing things. We're changing, you know, it can be our home, throwing things out, reapplying our energy into how we're operating at work and what we need to change in order for that to be balanced. Some of you, too many, may also be, how would I put it, still in that assessment state of what's going to fit and what's going to work. Hey, Wendy, welcome. What's going to work, what's going to fit. I do feel you're doing your utmost, and it's interesting because Mercury retrograde is actually in the house of Libra in your employment sector. So for some of you, the work-related dynamic might have been a little bit full of conflict, trying to find the balance. It's not to say you weren't having movements forward, but, you know, you're trying to do the best for that situation to physically move it forward. I also feel with the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn, it's very relevant to you as well, in that you're being pulled in two directions. You've also got to look at your zodiac sign and the shadow aspect of that, especially if you're looking at readings and it says there's an Aries around you. It's your shadow aspect. You do have that aspect of the Aries frequency. So especially with the astrology, we have planets in Aries, which will directly, you know, correlate with your shadow aspect, facing affairs, facing dynamics and moving through them. So there's a lot of changes going on with you. And I feel you guys are really meditating upon what's going to take you to that higher ground. How do you get to that higher ground? You've had to have a lot of patience, and I am seeing the need. I wouldn't say the need. What would I say? You need a bubble. You're like, I need a bubble. I need a bubble. If you could find a rock, you'd find it, and you probably sit under that for a little bit. But you know that the things would still be there to be dealt with. Okay, couples. Now, in your work domain, you're writing a new story about how you apply your energy. You're moving into what you're working on. The story is unknown. Many of you might be trying to trust your instincts when it comes to moving forward on a particular path. But again, because the moon was in Libra at 0 degrees, that just fast forwarded them, what you'll find is it's a restart button for your life. And again, with Mercury being in your career sector, you're changing things up and changing the way you're going to apply yourself to it. You're being practical, you're being rational, but you're taking a new energy into it. Holding on too tightly to things that no longer resonate with you is going to be problematic if you do that. You might have been doing something for years and all of a sudden it's like, it's not working, but I do love what I'm doing, but I need to take that new approach to it. I've got to change things up. That's the energy that's coming in. But if you stick too close to what everyone else is doing, it could be you're running a business and you're doing something similar to another person who is in the same trade and you're copying. You can't. I feel you're breaking away from that and you're going to try a new technique of doing something. Kimberly. You got a lot of base chakra as well. And again, this has been coming through in all the reads. Okay, for your partnered energy, we're going to have to pull some clarifiers. Now, with your finances, there is a healing situation going on. Hi, Luciana. So, you know, although you're changing the way you're applying your energy at work, it's the reset button with the Libra moon. It was 0 degrees, which means, I wouldn't say a restart, a new chapter. So there's a new chapter, and it's interesting because storyteller is in reverse. So it's a new story in your career. A new way of applying yourself, a new way of dealing with things. Your finances are going to heal. But it's looking at your belief system of that, especially, and I'll pull a chakra card on that, especially with blockages connected to that. It might be a karmic lesson that was needed to be learnt, especially since your career sector is set to be focused on. And something that was really coming up quite heavily for Libra was, what are you going to focus on? And I'm kind of laughing about it because some aspects are out of your control, but you're going to have to really use your scales this year. And the reason I say that is because a lot of it was highlighted to be focused directly on work or family. And the interesting thing is, as a Libra, I'm focusing on both. So potentially you have to find that work-life balance, and that's the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn. So although it comes through in your charts for Libras to deal with it, pick your poison sort of thing, the reality is life happens and you need to find that balance. And sometimes you need to be okay with it being off kilter, but you're going to have to, it's really testing you to be able to stay centered while it's like that and not fall and keep applying your energy. And retrograde was a bit difficult for that. So, you know, you're healing the financial aspect of things and what you're investing in. Some of you are healing through a situation that you have invested in. You're unsure how this is going to go, but stop tuning into it. Just trust in the process that everything happens for a reason and at a financial level. I do think when you guys are tuning into situations, you know, especially those of you who are very psychic intuitive, it's like you sense something's going to be different than what potentially the 3D is showing, which is correct. Also, a lot is unseen because of the 0 degree point in Libra on the moon. Is because not everything is set in stone. Hi, beautiful. How are you? I love my traveling solace. She just is my therapy. Honestly, she makes me laugh. So, you know something's coming. You know something's going to change. But you're detaching from it because it's out of your control. So it's breaking that codependent balance. Well, you know what's going to be is going to be. The universe has got my back, and if they don't, it's going to be what it's going to be. Family at the moment might not be coming together as planned. What's blocking you is hot heads. And I'm going to pull some clarifiers on that because I feel there's more. We'll go into the clarifiers. I'm feeling as though you know something's going to change in a family-related dynamic. This could, again, be with karmic energy. It could be baby's father, mother, siblings, the people you hang out with. There's something coming through that it hasn't got there yet, but you know it's going to be different than what it's saying it's going to be because you can see the falseness of the scenario. You're also being very cautious about who you do trust. They may be concerned of their finances, the reason why they're operating the way they're operating. And this can be in relation to a reconnection for some of you, or again, baby's mother, baby's father, and a change in scenarios. Again, the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn are, you know, connected to family, emotions, base chakra. Those things are coming out quite heavily to correct, you know, for our foundational issue moving forward. Other people around Libra at the moment can be very deeply connected, really going back to the roots. It can be moving home, moving closer to family. It can be changing the way you are looking at what tribe is, what family is, but you're only choosing people who relate to you. You'd prefer to avoid the people who are lower vibration. And when I say that, triggered people, like really aggressive, angry, triggered people, you will have to deal with them because that's life. But it can be that you're energetically tuning into their frequency and it's really affecting your vibration. So you're like, best advice I can give you is get some headphones, tune out of it, white light yourself, and remove yourself from the frequency if you can. If you can't, have a shower when you get home. Okay, certain groups are going to come back together, which is very common. We've still got the shadow aspect of Mercury direct, but that's for the first week of April. So it still can be people from the past coming back in, but probably at a high vibration, to be quite honest. What will block you from moving in is external people who wish conflict towards you and who aren't a blessing in disguise, but technically speaking, they're blocking the movement forward. This, again, can be karmic energies, baby's mother, baby's father, friendship groups of a jealous type. So, again, we can pick our poison, but there's energies that are being tied up at the moment. So they might not be feeling so happy with perhaps your potential path, the way you're operating, who you're mixing with. So it can be people not seeing eye to eye. Again, what I'm feeling is if you remove yourself from the scenario and let the tower fall on their side of the fence, that's going to be a them problem, not a you. What you're not seeing is there's some conflict coming, but it's got nothing to do with you. Okay? You can't make peace with other people who don't wish to seek peace. That's not a you problem. That's a them problem. Try and not take it personal. They don't want to heal, okay? This is an external influence. This is not a love interest. This is an external influence. You will be surprised, even though I'm telling you, even though you kind of know maybe who's lower frequency, you will be surprised at how low it goes. But everything is divinely guided, trust in the process. Again, waiting in reverse. You won't see it coming. I'm telling you, but you won't see it coming. Those of you who are in a partnership, you're really looking and observing the scenario. Again, you're looking at the scenarios around you. You're seeing the ups and the downs, and potentially you've gone, through hurdles with this person. There may be 4 external energies or 4 children. But I'm seeing 4 energies around you or 4 direct situations or ins and outs with this connection. Yeah, you're releasing some of the storyline. You've got to give it to the universe, and what's going to be is going to be. Some of it connected to family-related dynamics is out of your hands. So, again, what was coming up, picking who you deal with. It could be karmic-related energies. Hi, Libra. You sense it and you're like, I'd rather just get some bubble wrap and go find a lovely soft rock and hide under it and have a herbal tea while all this goes down. You're watching it, but you're actually assessing, hi Michelle, what's going on around the direct situation. And I do feel it's a mess, but it's not you, okay? So it's go with the flow. And try and keep yourself as centered on. I'm feeling this is external to you, but you're visually seeing it, experiencing it, or it's being projected to you. And I'm not feeling this could be indirectly correlating with your partner, but it's not directly correlating with you as per se. Some things is like, I'm not going to confront that because I'm going to open the can of worms, and like I could really go back there, but do you want me to? So I'm feeling you biting your tongue. So I'm not going to say anything because if I tell you what I really think, you're really not going to be happy. I'm just going to hold my crystal now. Some of the dreams that both you and this person are trying to attain temporarily due to home finances, can be medical situations. They're out of your reach at the moment, but that's temporary. So that can be really a frustration. Again, base chakra. Rest and recoup. Especially since the retrograde is kind of moving forward temporarily. Recoup before that. there is going to be a change. There is going to be growth. If you're moving house, this is going to be that. There's an opening up. There's an open door coming. And again, part of it, detach from it. Part of it isn't your side of the fence. Part of it is counterparts, partner's energy. They, again, haven't had time to nurture themselves. And it might be that the home is required for a nurturing purpose. And the current environment or dynamic or home or location needs to change in some shape or form. But it's interesting, whatever is going on and whatever both of you were leaving behind, look at these cards. They're sort of, this is yours, Libra, release. This is the energy between rest and recoup. This is their energy, your partner's. Healing begins. I feel once this transition happens, it's going to balance things out. They don't know what to think. That's why they're not saying anything. They're waiting for some information to come in. It could be work-related. Check their zodiac sign and see the energy that's coming through for them. I'm feeling they're waiting for some information. So it's not that they don't want to communicate. They feel they have nothing to tell anyone and everyone's wanting to know everything. And the energies can swap. So it's a confusing time. You're watching for things to balance out. Some old things are coming through. I knew it was about a house. Home, it can be, again, base chakra, family-related dynamics. Yeah. Observe while things are chaotic. Things are going to kind of settle down. Some old situations going to come up to be released for that new beginning. And a dedicated effort, like a home-related dynamic, it's hard to have that situation move because some of the control is out of your hands. Okay, if you're concerned about a karmic energy or an ex or needing to assist each other, both of you might be really meditating and having focused too heavily on the 3D, not on the relationship. I'm not feeling that there's not love. I'm feeling more there's a lot going on around you both, and that's the issue right now. You may need to rest and recruit from external situations that have been quite toxic. And the opening up, you're going to tell a lot of home truths, and there's going to be some clarity between your conversations, conversion in a mental note way to gain clarity on how to proceed forward. Okay, they're really still in their higher energy of masculine or feminine, you know, really moving forward towards what they need to do. It's not they don't want to. They are in that frequency. They're just not quite sure how to communicate because they're waiting on information. Some of them are actually going to be quite concerned about what they do here external, and it's going to make them, you know, step into their frequency of what they need to deal with. The healing that begins can be connected to taking us back to a fresh start or with it can be with the child. It can also be, you know, thinking of childhood and what did happen. But I'm feeling this is more with a female energy, but I don't feel a romantic connection. The foundational issue is really frustrating your partner. But the interesting thing is your chakra cards for April, and this is for singles and couples. These are the areas that are going to come up. And the real good thing is they're all upright. Love, responsibility, and desire. You're going to gain clarity on what you want to move towards, what you're going to invest in, and where and how much responsibility to take, what you're willing to take. Okay? Focus on those 3 goals this month. They're going to keep you in alignment. I feel there's external situations going on that are out of your control. They are going to balance out, but just focus on the process. Singles, again, give and receive in reverse. Wait for that to balance. Understand and know your worth. It might be you're having to give more than you're getting, investing in a situation, hoping for this situation to resolve. You also can potentially be thinking, have I healed my heart enough? I do feel you have. This might be you tuning into the person you're in love with, and you know that you need to break the shackles in order for this healing to happen. Again, detachment's very relative. You do have an aspect of, and I'm hearing, regardless of the card, fight and flight. Do I stay or do I go? Do I wait? Do I see? Detach. It flows. You don't need to lead the way. You know, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make a drink. Trust in the process. You're thinking a lot. What does my heart want? Where do I want to go? Who didn't I love in the past? Who do I? Did I love them? Your crown chakra knows the truth, but you definitely know where people have not been operating at a higher frequency. Got a lot of heart chakra here. You could be really, really cautious of your heart in April, but there is love here. There is love coming. The overall energy is love, responsibility, desire. When we tune into too many different energies, what we tend to get is distorted manifestation. So we could say we wish this path to come through, but then we start tuning into the different scenarios and the way it could come. That actually creates no green light, which again is heart chakra. It doesn't move forward because you've given too many scenarios to universe. If you want something in high vibration, merely tune into that. If you can see the blocks, feel the blocks, all of that's coming through for singles. Having the impact aspect is okay, but having a holiday from it temporarily to focus on your side is super helpful. I'm feeling like you guys do have a lot going on this month, but I feel you're going to be meditating a great deal on what is in your high good, what do you desire, what don't you. I feel it's a great assessment state. And I do feel you're going to get the clarity by mid-month / end of the month in April. You know, the theory that we're trapped is very relevant coming in here. We might be trapped in our mental mind. You might even be looking at the person you're in love with potentially as the reasons why they're stuck in a certain scenario. Talk to your heart and ask yourself, have you given yourself that same compassion? I'm not saying don't give your love interest compassion, but make sure you're giving it to yourself as well. I do really feel this month a lot of people are going to be tuning into what they feel is going to be worthy of their love and time and not. And a great deal of clarity for singles is coming through this month of what they don't want and what they do want. I don't feel this is in link to the partner. I feel this is a you thing of, you know, where you're at energetically. And, you know, some of the hopes and dreams that you want to live, that could be, hey, I want barbecues with this person, or, you know, I want to take this to the next level, or do I want to? You know, all of those things for those of you who are going through that assessment state. Some of you can also be getting a bit triggered and thinking, hey, go back to a simpler way of being. This could even be with a simpler version of a relationship. I keep seeing some of you wanting to travel, like get far away. But you're also tuning into a person you're really longing for and missing, and you're hoping that they can take responsibility, accountability, and open their heart and show love. And there is peace that's going to be restored here. There's a lot of twos. I mean, every card is a two. 2, 2, 2. There's a 2 on each card. Really coming into duality. 4, 5. So all up, it's an 11. So some of you might be tuning into a high vibration soulmate, moving to your higher goal in life, getting on the correct path, not willing to be on a path that does not resonate with you. This is where you're at. And it's like, had a gut pull. This is where I'm going. Are you with me or aren't you? And it's like, I'm almost seeing Zorro. Are you with me or aren't you? You know, kind of like cutting through the BS and just like, look, you with me, you're not. That's where you're at. Love and light. I shall be back shortly to do the twin flame check-in for Libras.